Hello friends, welcome to City Botany classes. In this video, we will discuss about general characters of Pteridophyta. This is part 1. In this video, we'll discuss about morphology, habitat, and formation of sporangium in Pteridophyta. Now, these are various genera of Pteridophyta: Marsilia, then Equisetum, and Lycopodium. Pteridophyta is derived from the Greek word pteron, feather, phyta mean plants. Two words, pteron and phyta, mean plant which are bearing feather-like leaves or feather-like plant. They are called as pteridophytes. Basically, pteridophytes, they are primitive land plants, but they have well-developed vascular tissue. Previously in Bryophyta and Alga, doesn't have any vascular tissue, but Pteridophyta, they have vascular tissue. Carolus Linnaeus classified Pteridophyta under Cryptogamia. Cryptogamia will include the plants which doesn't have well-developed flowers, plants without any visible sex organ. So pteridophytes, they don't bear flowers, they don't reproduce by formation of seeds, but they reproduce by the formation of spores. So we can say pteridophytes are flowerless, seedless, spore-bearing, primitive, having vascular tissue. So primitive vascular land plants found on the land. Most of the species of Pteridophyta, they are found on land. So species which are found on land, they are called as terrestrial plants. Now, terrestrial plants, when they're growing on land, they may prefer damp and shady places, but they may be growing in open grasslands. And some of the species of Pteridophyta, like Selaginella lepidophylla, Selaginella pillifera, they are found in dry condition, that is in xerophytic condition. Some of the species of pteridophytes, Marsilia, Azolla, and Salvinia, may be found in water or they may be found in semi-aquatic condition. So they are aquatic or semi-aquatic. Some of the species like Lycopodium phlegmaria, Selaginella oregana, Ophioglossum pendulum, they may be growing on certain other plant as epiphytes. Plant which grow on other plant, they are called as epiphytes. So this is about habitat of Pteridophyta. Main plant body of Pteridophyta is sporophyte. Here we are taking the example of Lycopodium. Now we can see here plant body is differentiated into root, stem, and leaf. Now stem is not visible, but this is under the leaves. Here stem is there. This is dichotomously branching also, and this is covered by leaves. Now this is the root system of the Lycopodium. So plant body is differentiated into root, stem, and leaves. Now roots in this case, they are adventitious type, fibrous kind. Leaves may be smaller in size, they may be bigger in size, but here in Lycopodium, they are smaller in size. And these are the cones or strobili by which Lycopodium is reproducing. So this is the sporophytic plant body of Lycopodium, and its genetic constitution is diploid. Most of the plants of the Pteridophyta, they are herbaceous, soft green, but some of the species may be present in the woody form, and they may be also present in tree forms. So they're called as woody tree ferns, Scythia spinulosa and Dixonia. When plants, they have both the surfaces like dorsal and ventral, symmetry is called as dorsiventral. But if this can be divided into two equal halves, this is called as radial symmetry. So main plant body in Pteridophyta is sporophyte, reproduces by the formation of spores, diploid in genetic constitution. This is truly differentiated into root, stem, and leaves. The leaves of the plants, they may be bigger in size, they may be smaller in size. When they are bigger in size, they are called as macrophylous. When they are smaller in size, this is called as microphylous. Macrophylous leaves, they are found in Pteridium, Pteris, and some other ferns. And smaller leaves, they are found in Lycopodium and Equisetum. Now, this is the plant of Pteris, Dryopteris, Pteris. They have bigger leaves. So this is the bigger leaf, macrophylous condition. And this is in case of Lycopodium, very small leaf, microphylous, and in Equisetum, you can see very small leaves, scale-like leaves present on the nodes, so microphylous condition. Now, vascular tissue is xylem and phloem. Xylem is the tissue which help in conduction of water and minerals, and phloem is the tissue which help in conduction of nutrients. Now, xylem and phloem, they are organized in a specific pattern called as stele. Now, steles may be also organized in a different way. Now, this is protostele. In this case, xylem is present in the center, surrounded by phloem. So, this is called as protostele. And when pith is present in the center, pith is parenchyma tissue, which stores the food. Now, this is surrounded by xylem. Now, this is the phloem. This is called as siphonostele. Now, this whole stele can be dissected into pieces by the presence of ground parenchyma or medullary rays. So, in this pattern of arrangement, having xylem, and this is phloem, this is again xylem, this is phloem. In between is present ground parenchyma or medullary rays. So, in the center is present pith. So, this is called as U stele. So, steles may be of different type in case of Pteridophyta. That we'll discuss in a separate video. But in this video, I have just mentioned some of the steles like protostele, siphonostele, and U-stele. So xylem and phloem, they are organized in a specific pattern. Now, xylem is made up of, in Pteridophyta, this is made up of tracheids and xylem parenchyma. This is its structure actually. Now, in case of angiosperm, vessels are also found, but in case of Pteridophyta, vessels are not found. This is made up of tracheids and xylem parenchyma. And phloem are made up of sieve tubes and phloem parenchyma. Companion cells are lacking. In case of angiosperm, companion cells are present, but here they are not found. In case of angiosperm, when the plants grow primarily, this is called as primary growth. But when their girth increases or woodiness increases, this is called as secondary growth. But that secondary growth is not found in pteridophytes, except in case of isotes. Secondary growth is only found in angiosperm, and this is also found in gymnosperm. But in case of pteridophyta, secondary growth doesn't occur except isotes. Plant body is sporophyte, diploid in genetic constitution, but this reproduces by the formation of the sporangia. Now, sporangia are present on the leaves. So, leaves which bear the sporangia, they are called as sporophylls. Development of sporangia also varies. Now, if it develops from a group of initial cells, this is called as eusporangia. But if single group of cells, this is called as leptospreading. And if single cell is giving rise to whole sporangium, this is leptospreading. If 3-4 cell they together give rise to sporangium, this is called as eusporangium. Now, this is the leaf which is bearing the microsporangia. So, leaves bearing microsporangia, they will be called as microsporophyll. Now, microsporangia will reproduce by the formation of smaller size spores called as microspores. So, this is called as microsporophyll. Now, this is the leaf which is bearing the megasporangia. Megasporangia will reproduce by the formation of megaspores. Megaspores will be less in number but bigger in size. So leaf bearing megasporangia is called as megasporophyll. So leaves bearing sporangia, they are called as sporophyll. And if leaf is bearing microsporangia, this is called as microsporophyll. If leaf is bearing megasporangia, this is called as megasporophyll. So in this case, two kinds of spores are being produced, microspores and megaspore. This is the example of Selaginella. But in some of the other Pteridophyta, like in case of Pteris and Equisetum, only one kind of spores they are produced. A one kind of spores they are produced. This is called as Homosporous condition. Now, sporophylls may be organized in groups. This is called as sori is plural and sorus is singular word. Now, this is the sori which are present in group. Sporangia are present in a group. This is called as sorus or sori. They may be aggregated to form cone-like structures called as strobili, or they may be found inside the bodies like sporocarp. This is the example of a Marsilia. Now, inside sporocarp, again, megaspore and microspore, that is microsporangia and megasporangia, both are found. Now, sporangia, whether they are micro or macro, they will reproduce by the formation of micro and megaspore. But here we are taking the example of microspores, and this is the sporangia, which is having a wall layer. Now, this wall layer is sterile, jacket, we can say jacket of the sporangium, and this is the stalk of the sporangium, by which it is attached to the leaf on which it is found. And this is the inner layer of the sporangium called as tapetum. Basically, this layer will nourish the sporogenous tissue. In the young condition, sporangium will have sporogenous tissue. A sporogenous tissue later on will get organized to form spore mother cell. Each spore mother cell is diploid in genetic constitution. Now this will undergo meiosis to form haploid spores. And if spores, they are of same type, like we already discussed, if they are of same structure, same shape, same morphology, this is called as homosporous condition. Example is Xylotum, Lycopodium, Equisetum, and Pteridophyta. But if spores, they are of different type, like we have discussed in Selaginella and in case of Marcellia, Microsporangia and Megasporangia. Microsporangia will reproduce by the formation of microspores, and Megasporangia will reproduce by the formation of megaspores. So these spores, when they are released from the sporangium by its dehiscence, dehiscence is when sporangia, you can say, broken up for the release of the spores, or it shrinks to release the spore in the outside environment. The spores will be thrown on the ground, and when they get suitable moisture and nourishment, they will start germinating, because spores are being produced after meiosis. So their genetic constitution is haploid. So these will germinate to form the gametophyte. So main plant body is sporophyte. This will reproduce by the formation of sporangia. The sporangia may be organized in the form of cones or strobili. They may be present in the form of groups. This is called as sorus, and this will reproduce by the formation of spores. The spores will be liberated from the sporangia, and spores, they will germinate to form the gametophyte. The formation of gametophyte we will discuss in the next video, part 2 of the pteridophyte. Thank you for watching my video. If you like my video, please like, share, and subscribe.